Welcome to the world class. I am Puppy's son. I'm little Puppy's little brother. And it brings me great pleasure to go over the 12th law. This video here is personal, it's not business. I was a little boy. My big brother was murdered. That was my hero. I knew from the bloodline I come from. I wanted more than just to kill the person that killed my brother. I wanted the evil that was responsible for. I've been waiting a long time to do this video. Follow through on my mission statement. I'm expose the devil. I'm gonna do my part in showing y'all what this thing is, how it operates. I can't make you grasp it. I can't make it go viral. That's not my business. My business is to do my job, do my part. If you like it, share it. If you don't. But this is gonna be done at a mastery level because I'm pissed off. I'm tired of being fucking played with. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not here to be nobody's fucking plaything. I don't come from that shit you can take some shit from and walk off safe. So y'all bitches started it. I'ma finish it. So.
And here we go.
What's so elegant about this little game, Jake? Nobody knows where the enemy is. They don't even know he exists. He's in every one of their heads. And they trust him. Because they think they are him. If you try to destroy him to save them, they'll destroy you to save him. Oh, it's beautiful, man. You have to admire the opponent's elegance.
The Law of Diminishing Intent says the longer you wait to do something you should do now, the greater the odds that you will never actually do it. John Maxwell.
I'll forego this gratification now. I'll take the harder route now, and the future will open itself up positively, and that actually works.
And if you don't do that bargain, you made the point that it always comes back to get you.
Yeah, and everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
All right, let's do our due diligence. Diminish. Early 15th century. Diminishing. To lessen, make, or seem to make smaller. Merged from two obsolete verbs. Diminu and diminish. Intent. Noun. Purpose. Early 13th century. From Old French. Intent. Intente. Goal. End. Aim. Purpose. Attention. Application. And directly from Latin. Intentus. A stretching out. Late Latin. Intention. Purpose. Noun use a past particle of intendere. Stretch out. Lean towards. Strain. Literally, to stretch out. See intend. In law, state of mind with respects to intelligent volition. Intent, 13th century, intending, direct one's attention to, pay attention, give heed, from Old French, intendere, to direct one's attention. Modern French, principally to hear, from Latin intendere, turn one's attention, strain, in quest of something, be zealous, literally stretch out, extend, from in towards, pa root in, tendere, to stretch, from pa root ten, to stretch, attention, late 14th century, a giving heed, active direction of the mind upon some object or topic. From the French, attention, directly from Latin, attentionem, attention, attentiveness. Noun of action from past participle stem, attendere, given heed to, literally to stretch towards, from ad, to, towards, stretch, again, pa root 10. This law speaks to what we know today as procrastination. Procrastination, a putting off to a future time. Dilatoriness, a putting off from day to day. Put off to tomorrow, defer, delay. Forward, belonging to tomorrow. This is typically the cycle we see with procrastination. You procrastinate, you feel guilty. You begin to panic about the things you feel guilty about. You start making excuses to justify the BS. You stay in the same stupid cycle. You understand? We know things are coming up. We know we should stop. The law of diminishing intent is there to remind us to keep our minds on what exactly we're here for. Like I've said multiple times, the highest law is the law of intent and purpose. And this law is the polar opposite. To the uninitiated, this may just appear to be a regular law. You know, don't procrastinate, be diligent, have a sense of urgency. These things are good. Have a good work ethic. Give the respective level of effort necessary to accomplish a goal or attain a thing that you're attempting to attain. That's fine for the neophyte. That's fine for the surface level, for the books you buy out in the store. But this is the world class. And we operate at a much higher level than this. So, if that was all you're looking for, you can leave. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the share button. We're thankful for having you. And that's out of the way. We can get to the real deal. Why does a law like the law of diminishing intent exist? Remember in the last video I said, why is the hardest question? It takes you the furthest. Because when purpose is not known, misuse is inevitable. Why do we procrastinate? And why do we procrastinate with a specific intention that's to our benefit? Like I said, this law is the polar opposite. It exists to remind you that counter exists. This law is a counterintelligence law. I'm not going to sit and say it's the lowest law, because that's not how evil rock. This is the entry point for evil. This is the ass end. This is the lower self of the 12 laws. This is our floor. This is the entry point. Where's the best place an opponent should hide?
You'll always find a good opponent in the very last place you would ever look.
You wouldn't expect your opponent to hide in the very thing that you were using to escape him. It hides in your religion. It hides in your universal law. It hides in your self-development. It hides in your celebrations. It has no boundaries. It's a good opponent. This deity, this entity, known as Lucifer and Baphomet, they are counterintelligence agents. And people think they're the peak, and they are the patsies. They are not the real devils. They are not who you should target. But they are devils. We're going to move from the neophyte level into the adept level. And then once we go through the adept level, we'll go through the mastery level. So strap in.
The bigger the trick, the older the trick, the easier it is to pull. There's them two principles. They think it can't be that old. They think it can't be that big. So many people to have fallen for it. Eventually, when the opponent is challenged or questioned, it means the victim's investment and thus his intelligence is questioned. No one can accept that. Not to themselves. Checkmate.
After this, the devil and them gonna be mad with me, boy.
You niggas gonna understand something about me. I'm worse than any of these white men here. You get the molasses out your ass, you keep your goddamn eyeballs off me.
The bigger the trick, the older the trick, the easier it is to pull. So let's be blunt. You know, niggas like, why do you keep putting these boring definitions in front of this? This is why. Look at this word, man. Think about how many times you've heard people use this. People using shit and you don't know what it means. And my point is, it's intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. And you don't think that because you're one of those people that think it can't be that big or it can't be that old for so many people to have fallen for it. That's why I keep going here. This is Law of Diminishing Intent right in front of your face. I'm not doing it for no reason. This is universal law right now. This is showing you how the devil rock right now. Semantics as a noun at the top means science of meaning in language. The science of meaning. How many niggas don't have a meaning to their life? What does semantic mean at the bottom? It's from a Greek word that means significant. To show by sign, to signify, to point out. Meanwhile, all this time, you had people using this word as if it means synonym. Look at the date, 1893, 1894. The older the trick, the easier it is to pull, because niggas don't know what words mean. Look at the bottom in the Sanskrit. Look at that word. It means he meditates. It says see Zen. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. The word science means to know. What do they know? They know you're not going to look. They know you're going to procrastinate. But now you know not to, right? And what you need to know is what they know. Here's what they know. They know your original purpose. They know what you're made of. In fact, one of the dopest things I've ever heard about this topic was in Atlanta at a conference in 2006. And I heard a pastor say, the devil has more faith in you than you do. Because he knows what you're made of and you don't. Because he was there when you were made. Let that sink in a little bit. It's heavy, you just ain't had to carry it. See, what this brings up is what you watch people do on a day-to-day basis, on a consistent basis. They're so focused on what somebody else has. So enthralled with other people's shit. And you don't know, and they don't know what you are already. I'm different, I'm special, I'm unique. You don't know how valuable the words that you're using that are older than everybody that's breathing right now. You don't know how valuable they are. But they do. Why is that? Because we allowed the original intent to be diminished. Where our true power is in the origins.
They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop.
One of the things that the homie, Brother Asir, often talks about is a satanic ritual, where the other side is always trying to swap spots with us. And what's interesting is, put us in a situation where they are the example of morality while we have none. What you're looking at is the 11 satanic rules of the earth. Number 1, do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Number 2, do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Number 3, when in another's room, show them respect or else do not go there. Number 4, if a guest in your home annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. Number 5, do not make sexual advances unless you are giving the mating signal. Number 6, do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and they cry out to be relieved. Number 7, acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desire. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. Number 8, do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Number 9, do not harm young children. Number 10, do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. Number 11, when walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them. Now, honestly, most of these rules are of a higher morality than the average person you see saying that they're a gangster. You know what I mean? They trying to play with me and da. So do you see how this is intentional? How the average person you see don't even live like this? And this is what Satanists live by? It's by design. So I'm telling you, not only do you have to pay attention to your own need to not procrastinate, to do things when you're supposed to, you have to watch for this pseudo-society's intention, willful intention to lessen you. Do you think it's by accident that how people call themselves black when this word actually means pale? Think it's by accident? Nah. It's another satanic ritual. A willful intention to diminish what something really means, so the next generation or the generation after that has no resistance and accepts a status or an identity of ridicule.
That's the science of Satan.
Scelere palum, hiding in plain sight. It's always been available to see the entire time. It's always been at our fingertips. But I often ask people, where do you think the devil got it from? And if you know a little bit about, your Bible or your Quran a little bit, you already know where the devil got it. Because the devil used to be an angel. The devil got it from God. And there's been something hidden in plain sight that's benevolent right in front of your face the entire time, and you didn't see it because you don't know what to look. Something we'll get into a little later. Diminishing. To lessen, make, or seem to make smaller. So seem to make also does what? It includes deception, right? Intent, which is the purpose. Goal, end, aim, purpose, or attention. We're trying to lessen the goal, make or seem to make smaller the end, the aim, the purpose, and the attention. But what is it that they're hiding? What is it that they don't want you to see? I make it my business to make big the thing that they're trying to diminish, what they're hiding in plain sight. Because remember, the law is specifically to diminish intent, right? Because they're trying to make something small. This is what they're trying to make small. In math, they always tell us to look for the common denominator. And what does 10 mean? 10 means to stretch, right? So what does this mean? How do we use this? In the law of attraction and repulsion, there's a principle where attention goes, energy flows. We'll get to that a little later. But let's bring that word up. Attention. Compound word. Attention. At a 10 state of being. So ask yourself, what is at 10? What is actually at 10? Well, it's the same thing as intention. There isn't anything that is at 10 but 9. 9 takes you to the door. 9 is actually the 10th number. There are only 10 numbers. I ask people, how many numbers are there? They'll tell me, oh, it's, zillions and 6,000,000,000. I was like, no. I didn't ask you how high can you count. I said, how many numbers there are there? There's only 10 numbers, from 0 to 9. And 9 is the highest number. 9 is the 10th number. Attention is 9. The military always asks for your what? Attention. They've been telling us for that for years, right? They want you at a 10 state of being. That's why most jobs start at what? They start at 9. You ever notice how close 9 is to none? Law of polarities. 0 is to 9 what the law of diminishing intent is to the law of intention. the Fibonacci makes a 9. Nature usually makes a 9. You see the thing? See how often it comes? Everything is stretching. The highest sciences that we know are making a 9. That's intention. I wasn't saying it for no reason. This is high sciences. Higher self and your lower self. Your 9 is usually your higher self. That's why you have a 9 on the top of your head. If you are of Moorish descent, you're brown skin, North America, Africa, Europe, you have a 9 on the top of your head. You're of the highest science. So you got the 7 in between, but you have your lower self and you have your higher self. That makes you the 9. Your lower self and your higher self mixed with your 7 chakras is a 9. That's you stretching out. These 7 deadly sins, right, are the diminishing intent. They exist to make you do what? To make you smaller. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, being a sloth, wrath, envy, pride, all distract, all diminish from the original intent. They all keep you from stretching. Congratulations. You are officially and completely initiated. Now, if you are sensitive, you know, a lot of you empaths, if you are adverse to religion, a little squeamish, you don't like warfare, you don't like hot contact, you know, have any type of spiritual sensitivity, any type of bias to certain images. I've shown with a certain image throughout this video, and you know, it'd be a good time for you to leave now, because we're going down a pretty dark place into mastery. You're going to get world-class information as per usual, but this is some pretty heavy stuff, and I just want to be responsible on my end, because irrespective of these images provided by the legends of history, these frequencies, this knowledge is it's a real thing. We'll get into frequency and vibration a little later down the road, but we're going down a pretty dark place from here. We're going into the mastery, and what mastery is about is recognition of an expansion, a stretch of a principle by another adept or master. It's very specific. So that is particularly and specifically what I'm going to be doing, is showing you how the masters of these laws are using it and how to recognize it. So we're going to have to jump back in history, go through a little bit of the Bible, just to be clear and for identification purposes. And you're gonna see a master at work. How I eat through this bullshit, and why I'm unfuckwittable, and show y'all how to kick these niggas' ass. And it's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's not really that deep, but it's real. And they do not like being exposed, and they will be exposed. So it's gonna be some heavy stuff. So stay tuned.
clever schemer. You had plans. Look where that got you.
What is the first rule of any game, Mr. Green?
The only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent.
What's rule 2 of any game?
The more sophisticated the game, the more sophisticated the opponent.
Almost the same, but where does it stop, Mr. Green? Where does this game stop?
It stops when you start to give the answers. Don't let them play head games with you, Jake.
Is it me that's playing head games with you, Mr. Green? You've heard their voice for so long, you believe it to be you. You believe it to be your best friend.
They should believe their opponent to be their best friend.
Where's the best place an opponent should hide?
The very last place you would ever look.
Please, there's people here right now could use your help.
Fuck you.
Alright, so let's begin by showing you my satanic top 10 most unwanted. So we already have, you know, I'm going to show you these 9. Some of you guys know about it, some of you people won't. It is 10. You already understand the value of 10, right? To stretch out. And we're doing the law of diminishing intent. So it's obviously what? To stretch in, to stretch down, to turn your 9 into a 6. I originally was going to do the 6, but I figured there's really no way to be thorough with it without doing the 9. So we're going to go to the top 3, the mid tier, and the ones you deal with on a day-to-day basis, which is almost top tier. And this is kind of how this shit rocks. It's truly confusing. I'm going to show you 3 new hybrids that exist. And when I say hybrid, I mean those of us that mean us harm, they are adepts too. That's how I got masters too. They have adepts too. So adepts, the one thing they know how to do is adapt. I'm going to show you the adaptation from old knowledge, what you thought was real, and then get you out of that obsolete level of thinking so you can deal with the new foot soldiers that they have. That people that absolutely positively know nothing about. The last 3 is going to be the most important, but you're going to need proper context and to know what you're dealing with on a demonic level and a satanic level. So you can understand it. You have to think now, you are designed to be lifeward. So how do you procrastinate against something? Procrastinate to do something you really are designed to do and want to do. It's too much energy for it not to be intentional. And I'm gonna show the intention. All right, so mastery. Let's get right into it. We already mentioned the Patsy, Old English Lucifer, aka Satan, the morning star. Remember this thing, this is important. Venus in the morning sky before sunrise is morning star. Also, epithet of the name Diana. Remember Michael Jackson was saying, Dirty Diana? So from the late Latin Lucifer. Noun, use of adjectives, literally light bringer. From lux, right, light. They're saying this is fairer. To carry or bear, from the power root to carry. See, I don't follow it blindly. People may think I follow it blindly, but I don't. Because this word here is clearly, it's the games. Even when you're in etymology, you have to expect to see the games. It's Luke's light, cipher, Luke's cipher, Lucifer. See, Lucy or Luci, her, naught or 0. Literally empty, nothingness. So what is it saying? It's saying light, 0 light. And people don't understand that because people don't understand syntax, a putting together or in order, arrangement, a grammatical construction. Together Sin, see sin, which in plus tasin, which means arrange. See tactics. Tactics. Science of arranging military forces for combat. Art of arrangement. Of or pertaining to arrangement. Especially tactics in war. Arrangement and arranging the order or disposition of an army. Battle array, order. See order again. We again found order through tactics. Hesperus, the evening star. So you see the morning star and you see the evening star. You see the games they're playing. So he's the patsy. This is, again, all polarities. The morning star. What? The evening star. The light from Luke's, which is Luke. Really Luke. And then you have Cypher. The light, bringing light to zero. How does that matter? Because you have this dickhead, Samael. One of the names of Samael is the god of the blind. Samael is often depicted as an angel with 12 wings covered in eyes. Why would he be called the god of the blind? He called himself God, and God said, "You are blind." He told him that he was blind. You can see the ritual, how a being that is covered in eyes is called blind because he keeps people blind. He uses a being called Lucifer, which is a light bringer, right? A light bearer. Convert that thing into a light cipher. You're bringing light to zero to help things be what? Blind. People that are blind see darkness. They live in the darkness. That's the game that they're playing. They didn't teach us etymology, parsing, and syntax. They got us thinking that semantics means synonym, and it doesn't, right? So this dude, or this angel, which part of this is called the true devil. This dude here is an angel, he's not a devil. So, but he's the one that's responsible. Samael is the one that planted the tree of knowledge in a garden. And you gotta ask yourself, why would God allow him to do that? This dude got free range. You know, he'll step out of line, he'll get corrected, but he'll stay an angel. He's on a different level. He is the one that he is said to have been the true father of Cain that killed Abel. Made Adam to a stepdaddy. So essentially Adam's line is gone, essentially. And this dude is the one. He is the one that is charged with corrupting Lilith and teaching her what she was, right? We'll talk about her a little later. And convincing her to go down the path of what she was, convincing her that she was equal to Adam, which here we learn about universal law and order. Just because you were made from the same thing doesn't mean that you're the same thing, because order is important, is just important as law. So God made Adam first, then made Lilith, so he would be first. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? So all of these deities exist in contradiction to what God created. It's that specific. It's that direct. It's not even, you can't even hide it. This is the dragon. This is the one they called the dragon. That's why he got those like dragon hands, because he is said to have had a serpent as his garment. So when you see these depictions of dragons in movies, it's him. But they've been teaching us for the last 400 or 500 years that it's Lucifer, when it's really this guy. But see, he is an angel. An angel doesn't just mean good. He's just one of those elite seven that, you know, can't be touched. So this is where everything stems from. So I'm taking my time explaining this to you because so you can see how much you've been lied to. They lied to you about the good stuff. They'll lie to you about the bad stuff. And you can play with them, but you can't play with masters, because we're going to keep searching. Right? We're going to keep going back to what? To the origins. And this is the origin of all evil in religious texts. It is this guy here. that we're looking at. Shout out to Legends of History for providing this image. The take home from this is that he's called the accuser. So if I was to take one line from this guy, what would it be? You would have a lot of blind people accusing you. A lot of niggas that are blind accusing other people of shit and they don't know where shit comes from. This is the guy behind everything. So you have the manosphere talking about Lilith, but they don't know this guy. This guy created Lilith. He made her the way she was. It was him. He corrupted Adam. But we're going to acknowledge the true devil. Your true devil, really your true enemy. This is Azazel. This is the true god of war. This is your true enemy. The story with this dude is, this guy was a watcher, an angel, like a lower rank angel, essentially. It's under another angel called Semjaza or Semyaza. Some people even say that Semjaza is Samael. But this is literally this guy's right hand, and you see he's missing a right hand. Right? They call him the goat, the scapegoat. This is where you get this bullshit Baphomet guy from. This is the god of war, Ares. This is Baphomet. This guy's been behind the scenes and been hitting the entire fucking time. This is dickhead. This is the true devil in terms of, from a biblical perspective. If you think I'm lying, First Enoch 10, verses 1 through 9. Bind Azazel hand and foot. Notice it doesn't say hands. And cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Judah, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. See the ritual again? Give him what they were trying to give us. And on the day of great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed, and have taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sins. Azazel, not Lucifer. But they kept this book, the book of Enoch, from us. From everything that comes from what Azazel did. Now, what did Azazel do? Azazel taught man warfare. Those angels, and it says this, right? It says, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted. See, he was an angel along with those other watchers. In the story in the book of Enoch, they were sleeping with the women. These so-called watchers, which they were supposed to just be watching. And they slept with the women, and they created the Nephilim, and the Nephilim were going apeshit crazy. This is the thing, this is the story that led up to Noah and the Ark. So they were teaching man knowledge that God had forbidden at the time. And aside from laying with the women and creating the Nephilim and creating the chaos that the Nephilim was creating within the story of the book of Enoch, Azazel was the one that taught man warfare. He taught man how to create weapons and kill each other. This is the god of war. He created war. He invoked war amongst men. He is the worst of the worst. God told Adam to go to the garden and work and become yourself. Man, know thyself. For him to become Azazel, more than any other deity or any other sin in the world, taught man to do the exact opposite of what man was designed to do. And it's what we say now, an organism at war with itself is dead. He is the worst of the worst. He is the lowest. He is the filthiest. It is him, Azazel, that we ascribe all sins. Everything we do is self-defeat. We drink, we smoke. We only love self-defeat. We only love warfare to this day. That's all we do is self-defeat and go to war with ourselves every day. He is the worst of the worst.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Lucifer may be arrogant, but he's not as fucking low as Azazel. So we ascribe all sins to him and get out of this Lucifer shit. Dragon, devil, beast, that's Samael, and it's him. And, you know, I was going to wait a little later to explain this. If this is why God didn't want the tree of knowledge in the garden, this is why God didn't want the watchers to teach what man knew now. He didn't want us to know yet. Just the same way you treat your child. You don't want your children to know that they're going to die when they're 2-3 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not that complicated for any parent or any caretaker to understand that. It wasn't that God wanted to keep man in ignorance. God gave man light. But it's a time and a place for anything. And we've already kind of been over this. Universal law and order. There's an order. There's a process. My mentor, we'll call him Mentor Mike, he said, success is a process. He said, when you cheapen the process, you cheapen the product. Mentor Mike. And it was a time and a plan set for man to learn it in due time so you can develop a skill, master it, and then go to the next thing. Like it was said in the Kabbalion, give a strong man meat, give a baby milk. We weren't ready for that information. Our brains could hear it, we could see it, but we weren't ready as a people. Because people do not understand that man is a successor. Therefore, success is man. They're the same thing. My son is my successor. I am my dad's successor. To study success as a man is to understand manhood. And these entities and these orders behind these entities or these frequencies or these words or these names, which are what? Intents, right? Intentions. And these people who purpose this frequency of Samael or Azazel, these people exist in opposition to success, right? So let's go to the next jerk. So who we have here is Belial. A variation of his name is literally Beliar, B-L-I-A-R. Belial, a Hebraic term was thought to characterize the worthless or the wicked. The very etymology of the word often considered to mean the lack of worth or value. In other interpretations, the word is thought to have meant yokeless or to have no rising, a phrase for one not having potential to achieve. So I did a little bit of my own digging. You see Belial, early 13th century, from late Latin, from Greek, from Hebrew, Bialo, destruction, literally worthless. Worthless, from Bili, without, then Ya'al, use. Very important word. Remember we have, remember, and if you don't know, I think I mentioned before the law of use. So you have wickedness as an evil force in Deuteronomy, later treated as a proper name of Satan. 2 Corinthians, though Milton made him one of the fallen angels. So if you can see the theme, we're dealing with, you always heard about Satan's fallen angels and everything. Now we actually have some names to these dudes. Those of us that haven't been privy to these missing books, we have names of these creatures that called angels. We just heard and blamed Satan. And you see, if you've been paying attention to it, that's the same thing that happened with Azazel. Right? They used to blame, we was taught they blame Lucifer for everything, but they actually blame Azazel for everything. So it's the same type of deal. And this guy is important because literally his name is just a slur. It's even thought to just be a made up word anyway. It's just a name that exists to disgrace people, to associate it to the Satan or the devil, which is what I was talking about before. Why do you think people with brown skin are called black when that word means so many negative things. We take on a title, we take on somebody else's title. This mastery level is to show you the names of these things that wasn't shown to us, and then you can see it in real time how they're gonna flip on us their own problems. Like I showed in the Joe Rogan video, satanic, same ritual that they run over and over again is, I know how to make you feel bad, I'm gonna call you me. So this guy tops out our top 3.
Wherever you don't want to go is where you will find it.
Probably the most popular demon on the planet right now, because the world religion that everybody been waiting for, aka feminism, is pretty popular, and she's the head. You know, essentially she's the Antichrist. Lilith, you're looking at a depiction from a movie, Revolver, came out in 2005. Link in the description to the playlist. Link in the description to the playlist that I have reviewing this movie. This movie is extremely dope. This depiction is showing Lilith handing the apple to Eve. Lilith, long story short, in Genesis 1, I think 26, man was created from the dirt and dust of the ground. And he man and she female. Syntax suggests that Adam was made first. You know, this is what they keep calling Adam. But I have a whole different take, but I have a completely different take, we'll say for another time. But long story short, feels as though that she's equal to Adam, because they were both made from clay. My position is that you were made second. Second is not equal to first. You're not equal. That's how that works. She uttered the name of God in defiance, left 3 angels chased after her. She basically told the angels, because they were following her bullshit, you know, she's going to kill children and kill men. She'll kill little girls too, but she'll give them more time. But if the 3 angels that sent for her and followed her around bear their name in some type of way through an emerald or a coin or a charm, then she'll spare them. To give Adam a little credit, he didn't simp after her. He didn't chase her. So he really wasn't a simp. He stayed honorable. So shout out to Adam. Again, you see her depicted as a serpent. Because Samael, just like we learned earlier, had a serpent as his garment. So does she. These two, Samael and Lilith, are like the anti-Adam and Eve, you know. That's what we learn in Universal Law and Order. Law of Diminishing Intent, Law of Intent and Purpose. So, the big takeaway as it relates to this video, because this is not a Lilith video or a demon video, it's just me getting some little payback. The takeaway from this is that Lilith is the one that corrupted Eve. She's the one who is thought to have been the serpent in the tree. Samael is the one that corrupted Eve in the first place to make her think stuff that didn't make an inch of sense, that you were equal, but you are not. And she didn't go at Adam in the garden. She wanted Eve because Adam was equal. Adam being the one who usually took the top position during sex, she wanted to take the top position. But again, you were never equal. So I am taking a position that Samael did corrupt her, to teach her a lot of stuff that didn't make any sense, because he's a superior being, even superior to Lucifer. So what chance does she have? Right? It happens every day, all day, with men today. What the big takeaway from her story is, as it relates to this video, is that Eve was some unsuspecting young little idiot thing. They didn't know any better. Like you see all day, every day with these chicks. You got some older hag, some older chick who wasn't good enough to get her way, and then she'll tell and teach a young chick and manipulate a young chick into doing something that will do what? That will diminish her. You know, they both were kicked from the garden. So Eve was what? She was diminished. The original intent was for them not to know or eat from the tree of knowledge. Yet. And that cost them everything. This ritual has been going on and on and on and on every day. These people know who you are and you don't know who you are. They know what the bigger the trick, the older the trick, the easier it is to pull. This is extremely old. This is an old Sumerian tale. It's a very, very old tale. So they know how to manipulate you. Okay? That's the big take home from that. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that. But the original intent was for Eve to be with Adam. It's for a so-called black female to be with a so-called black male. But now they got the black female being with what? The black female. Got her undermining her own self to be protected less. How much sense does it make for a monogamous female to take advice from another competing monogamous female? To sit around another monogamous female who can't make you a wife, a mother, or protect you from men? Doesn't really make any sense. Self-defeating ritual of you beating yourself and having pride, like all of these deities that we've talked about, Lucifer included, is a reoccurring ritual of self-defeat. This is Obi's. Although you see arms in this depiction, she is known to be a headless demon. A demon that particularly attacks children and kills children. Headless. With wild hair. You were looking at the origin of Medusa. Alright? Like Medusa did what? Turn men to stone. Men are stone, they can't what? They can't reproduce. If their children are killed, what? You're basically talking about sterilization. A headless demon having what? Having no body. Buy a dog, die alone. Having no body. Like females have murdered. This is the demon that is literally corrupting the women in your life right now. This is the one closest to you. As we go further down, these are the ones you're going to deal with the most. They're going to be the energies that surround you the most. The headless demon running rampant through our world. Lilith is one thing, that's queen. But these things right now is in your space, on your streams, on your calls. This right here, this creature right here is the problem. You know, in the story, she was one of the most arrogant, manipulative demons that Solomon had to deal with. Now, please go check that story out as well. This energy right now, you see this energy right now. You can't even make this up. You got so many chicks, and it's like if you just use 2 cents to think about what I'm saying. You see chicks with wild hair who don't care about their bodies. All they care about is their hair. All they do is kill children. This is who you're looking at most of the time. Do some type of demonic possession. I have no idea, because I don't watch TV. But you see them care about their hair. Their hair is wild, and they're child killers. and they act like they don't have a body, like they can't feel enough stuff. I mean, this is evidence in and of itself. Like this, you don't even have to try to get this. This is stupid, retarded, crazy. They have no body. You can't get more specific than that. They kill children at a ridiculous rate. We'll talk about that in a second, in a little bit. But you kind of get in the theme over and over again. You dealt with the big boys. That's what people like me have to deal with. Samael, Azazel, Belial, Lucifer. But the non-adepts, the non-masters, this what the average ordinary person is getting trashed by. Dudes getting their child killed. It's this thing. This energy, this frequency, this intention, however you want to call it, this word, this concept, this mindset, this demonic mindset, this demon time, it's this asshole. This is one of the most powerful demons on the planet right now outside of Lilith. Lilith all day. It's this shit right here. So fucking weird shit you're looking at. It's too freaking specific. And like I said, you see the depiction of her body, but this is a headless thing. Having no loyalty to nobody. No attachment to nobody. This is Beelzebub, also thought to be a former angel. Before we get into a story, let's just look at something. This is stated in the Testament of Solomon, verse 27. I destroy kings, I ally myself with foreign tyrants, and my own demons I set on to men, in order that the latter may believe in them and be lost. And the chosen servants of God, priests and faithful men, I excite unto desires for wicked sins, evil heresies, and lawless deeds, and they obey me, and I bear them on to destruction, and I inspire men with envy, and I desire for murder, and for wars, and sodomy, and other evil things, and I will destroy the world. Testament of Solomon, verse 27. Remember 27, it's going to be important. Beelzebub is just like Belial. It's thought to be another slanderous term, meaning Lord of the Flies, as his followers, as he is dung and his followers are drawn to him like flies to dung. Beelzebub is one of the slanderous things that was said about Yeshua, aka Jesus, the Nazarene, that the miracles that Yeshua was performing, aka Jesus, was due to him using a demon to cast out a demon. Nonetheless, he is referred to as, the Prince of Demons, as one of the original angels that fell and stayed in some level of royalty. This energy here, this name Beelzebub, this depiction is, again, like Obizuth, what you mainly see, these thug niggas, these low vibrational niggas, these simp enforcers, these boule niggas, these sellouts, these false prophets, these fake hoteps, fake pro-blacks. These are the typical males that you see that are going to be defending the bullshit, protecting this demonic fucktard shit that we see on a day-to-day basis, and question you when you challenge their foolishness. I often say that Jay-Z was wrong. He said males shouldn't be jealous, that's a female's trait. He was wrong. Jealousy is definitely a male trait. You see that during mating season with mammals, reptilians, etc. You see that in the hood every day. The females don't have jealousy, they have envy. Jealousy is when you want some shit because you've seen somebody else with it. Envy is when you want some shit because you've seen somebody else with it and you don't want them to have it even if there's enough. Got a lot of chicks that want to be the only one in this pseudo-monogamous BS that they have. And then you ask them about wife duties and they don't know how to do it. It's because your mindset and your value system is solely because you want to keep something from somebody else. Not that you've been preparing to be a wife, but it hurts you so bad in your soul for you to see somebody else with something that you want and you can't have it at the moment. So as you're looking at this depiction of envy, headless consumer of heads, and it's kind of close to Obizuth, where it was just a head. This demon is known to rip off the heads of men and consume them. This demon essentially is senseless. And you see the senselessness that comes from envy, which they always let you know that they are possessed by this envy demon, because they say, I feel like. Of course you only feel like because you have no head. There's no head of your life. The senselessness that we participate in. How much sense does it make for us to expect common sense from people whose senses have been commandeered? Envy is no joke. It's a very persistent being. The only thing envy wants is everybody else's shit. This is a demon you have to pay very close attention to. Be very wary of. It happens very often. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of opportunities. When you engage in envy, just like this depiction is expressing, when you engage in it, you create self-decay and decrepitness. Pay close attention to some of the depictions of these demons. It's always decay. It's always a matter of neglect of self. That when you start to realize that these demons are just cancer humans, humans that have been corrupted, humans that have been dead while they were alive. Now they have to be alive while they're dead. Again, another satanic ritual. This is what envy does to you. It kills you and puts all your attention on somebody else's stuff. You essentially become an extension of somebody else's property. So this is the big build-up. All the shit I've been talking is about these next two. Is what this entire video was for. It's why I was put here. It's why if you're in the manosphere, if you're in the Moosphere, if you're one of my brothers and my sisters that's tired as fuck shit, I'm gonna put you up on game. And then we're gonna cure all of this stuff and get clear on, well, how do we even get here? Oh, I've said it over and over again. When purpose is not known, misuse is inevitable. So the story goes, the prophecy was that a young man will come through these oppressed people. They knew the young boy was on his way here. So, as we've been saying throughout this video, the goal was to kill children to prevent him to come here. As the story goes, the boy actually came here by way of a virgin mother. When he came here, the young boy was helped. And these people who didn't want the boy to come, they threatened people. And everyone knew of him, but he came here anyway. And people helped him. He became a great leader. And that was at 13. And he was honorable. And he was supported. And he performed miracles. And he accomplished great feats. And once again, he was honorable. To the point where the people that didn't want him to come wanted to have him killed. And the big bad wolf at the time, the big bullies of the planet, were asked to kill him. And as they checked over the young man at this time, an adult male at this time, they found that this man was honorable. They had no legitimate reason to kill him. He had broken no laws. But they acquiesced because this man was their king, as they said. And the man was killed. Every reason that they wanted him killed, it had happened, and it got worse after he died. To the point where 2,000 years later, we're told his story over and over. Yeshua ben Yosef Emmanuel, peace be upon him, aka Jesus the Nazarene. Why am I telling this story? Am I about to talk about the Antichrist? No, I'm about to talk about the real Antichrist. You see, when this story is told, you have to understand that we're not the only ones that get to hear this story. And there is a loser in this story, and that's the people that were fighting against that man that we know is Yeshua ben Yusuf Emmanuel, aka Jesus the Christ, the Nazarene, etc., etc. Well, this story at a minimum was 2,000 years ago. In my 36 years, we've gone from Etch-a-Sketch to tablets. Not to draw it out too long, but adaptation has occurred. And you would be a fool to not know in your soul that the most vicious and disgusting and despicable people on this planet have not adapted in 2,000 years. You would also be foolish to think that they will wait to make this adaptation within our lifetime. That they wouldn't have this adaptation made 400 or 500 years before we were born. I say that to say that they adapted. 2,000 years they had to plan for this moment. What's the first rule of any game? You only get smarter by playing a smarter opponent. If you were them, what would you do? If you knew the boy was coming, and the boy came, and he did everything you didn't want him to do, and the men, the kings that you controlled helped him, the people that you controlled helped him, even him and his environment, I should say. You had control over these things. You could even kill him, and you did, and you still failed. Everything failed. Think with your brain, what are you left with? They have adapted. How do you kill a Messiah? How do you kill Jesus? How do you beat Jesus? How do you beat a prophet? How do you solve the problem? If I'm the other side that has 2,000 years to adapt, what do I do? You get married to kill Jesus. Because what is Antichrist? Anti means against. Christ means Messiah. We went from having all of these messengers whittled down to Dr. Omar Johnson, Light, Young Pharaoh. Really? This is verbatim what Antichrist is. So I say this again, as I said on multiple lives. I've said multiple times and will continue to say it. Black females have murdered 23,560,000 fucking children. They murder 649 children a day. Divide that times 24. Because there's 24 hours in a day. That's 27 children an hour. 27. 27. Look how many times we've been on verse 27. Do you not see the ritual? What's 2 plus 7? It's 9. Let's step out of that. How many times does 9 go into 27? 3. It's 3 9s, isn't it? They've scored 3 9s. If we were to mirror those 3 9s, what the fuck would that make? 6, 6, 6. Welcome to the world class. Welcome to the best of the best of the best, where you will never get this shit from anywhere else. That is the mark of the beast. Nothing else. I verbatim, to the T, describe the Antichrist. You know why the people will never find the Antichrist? Because they were never sending an Antichrist. Christ was a title. One thing people keep forgetting is that Jesus is an effect, he's not a cause. The initiated, the masters, don't deal with the effect, they deal with the cause. What's the cause? Mary. They were never sending an anti-Christ. They were always going to send an anti-Mary. This is your hybrid demon that no one knows shit about except for one lady who I'm going to show a little later, and the people that may have been aware of her prior to me saying it. And I did not know this lady came out with this shit before I came out with before I thought of it and perceived it. Didn't even know she exists until I did this recording today. Did a little research, wanted to see if somebody figured it out before me, and they have. I give this lady credit, she already has a book. The key is for me to feed pieces to you and make you think you took those pieces. Because you're what? You're smarter and I'm dumber. I've been specific and blatant about telling you that Lucifer is the patsy. I wanted you to see in your own brain, could you perceive the other side? Y'all in the manosphere have been talking Lilith. That's the patsy. It's the hand that you don't see that knocks you out. You never seen anti-Mary coming, did you? Didn't know that this was coming. It's not in the title, it's not in the description. You can only get smarter by playing a smarter opponent. One of the expressions of, or indications that the Antichrist was coming was as a Babylonian whore. I am Noble Miguel Mario Tunica Bay, Moorish American Muslim, consecrated and appointed missionary to Moorish Science Temple of America. I do have a religious title. This is my business. To expose Satan or Shaitan. This here thing that we're talking about is the greatest demon of all time, the strongest, non-negotiable. But this portion of this video is called the True Devil. And with respects to Samael, Azazel, we ascribe all sins, Belial, Lilith, Obizuth, Beelzebub, and this new hybrid Jesus, anti-Jesus, anti-Mary creature thing. None of them compared to the next. I saved the best for last. The greatest murderer of all time. That all of them wrapped up together does not make up 1/32nd of a percent of how dangerous and satanic this true devil is. But before we do that, just to show you this is not something that I'm making up. We're going to take a look at Miss Carrie Gress to explain and back up what I'm saying from a whole different perspective, from a Catholicism standpoint, not an Islamic standpoint. And then I'm going to introduce you to the true devil.
but there is similarly a uniquely malevolent source promoting abortion, and the new behavior was women have fallen into wittingly or not. You go on to say there must be something more than simple human vice behind the fact that millions of women have betrayed the most sacred and fundamental of relationships, that of mother and child.
Right, yeah. I mean, this is I think if you look at all of history, I mean, this is an absolutely astounding point. If you see, certainly abortions have happened in the past. I'm not trying to make that claim. But to have a whole culture not only think that abortion is necessary, but go further and say, you know, we're shouting our abortion, we're celebrating our abortion. This is something there's something deeply diabolical about this, that this most fundamental of relationships could be so twisted and become so, you know, seen as such a bad thing in the minds of millions and millions of women.
What's an anti-Marian spell?
I think this is really the spirit of the anti-Mary. I don't mean that as an individual. I mean as a spirit that sort of captured the culture. And I think this sort of spell is something that the culture has really been taken over by, that we are influenced by without even really realizing it, because it's so deeply in our politics, magazines, books, Hollywood, academics, you know, fashion industry. All of it is sort of shot through with the same ideology, again, revolving around abortion as the lodestone.
You say 2 years of research have provided story after story of the terrible things women are doing to themselves and to their husbands, children, and grandchildren. Are you being tough on them?
No, I don't think I'm being tough on them at all. I think that, you know, there were so many stories that I ran across, just horrifying things of just the different child abuse. I mean, not to mention, of course, abortion, but just the different ways in which people are being treated. So, no, I don't think I'm being hard on them at all. I think if you look in just even an everyday news feed, you're going to see the effects of the anti-Mary.
Erasing Mary, that's the chapter, and you quote Karol Wojtyła from 78. Then, of course, St. John Paul II. We're now facing the final confrontation with the church and the anti-church, of the gospel versus the anti-gospel. And that's where you go on and you connect the idea. If you comprehend that, adding the idea of the anti-Mary to this list makes sense for several reasons.
No theatrics, no games, no monologue. Core code to the point. No image to distract you. This is not by mistake. It's not an editing error. We're looking at a black screen. No distractions. Your brain, no matter what I say, you're not prepared to hear this. There's no point in me putting on music. There's no point in me distracting you any further, because this is the all-time greatest killer in the history of the planet. There's no demon or devil or Satan in any religion in its class. It's the best of the best. The greatest murderer this world has ever seen. The greatest R-word artist this world has ever experienced. Your enemy, your unbridled, undefeated, unrivaled, true devil is comfort. This is not a theory. I don't mean it metaphorically. It's not a punchline. It's not a metaphor. Comfort is why the gazelle loses its young in the wild. It's why men stick their penis in children. It's why people steal out of stores. It's why people have envy. It's why people want to kill children for comfort. It's why people are prideful in every single solitary horrible thing that you can think of. Comfort is always around. It is the epitome of everything horrible. It's comfort. That is your true devil. Beyond a Samael, an Azazel, a Belial, Zelzebub, envy, Lilith, anti-Mary, antichrist. None of them compare to comfort. It kills us all. 100% of the time that you've engaged with comfort, you've lost 100% of the time. And ain't nothing perfect but the devil. When purpose is not known, misuse is inevitable. When God made Adam, he told Adam to go to the garden and work, which was the word argan. Argan means to become yourself. You can only become yourself through what? Through work. That was the intention, which is what to stretch out, to become yourself. The second comfort creeped in the garden, all hell broke loose. It is comfort. Niggas in North America that walk around with brown skin that don't have enough motherfucking time or priority to look at their fucking skin and see that it's brown, the piss poor piece of shit level of attentiveness that they have for their own fucking identity is because you're so desperate to be comfortable. We can't be free because comfort is more important than freedom or dignity. Everything about our life has been consumed and corroded by comfort. How the fuck do you lose the purpose or lose the focus on something you want to do in your life? How could it be possible for your intention, your purpose to improve yourself? How could that ever diminish in your presence? The senselessness of hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil, that comfort does to you. You see nothing wrong with your comforts. I'm going to eat a third or fourth plate for nothing. All the evil in the world don't compare to this thing. This thing is all of those shits squared by 10. This shit is negative 100 to the 10th power. Every single solitary, pitiful piece of shit, low quality, despicable, irrelevant, destitute, failing, criminal, satanic, unilateral, disproportionate, abusive, neglectful, every single solitary fucking thing you've ever seen in life has been infected by comfort. Even with me saying and beginning this process of saying you still fighting it right now because you think it's a fucking theory I came up with. That's how intense this creature is, or whatever the fuck this nasty ass shit is, this comfort shit. This is the most powerful being in existence. This comfort shit. Every leader, every man and woman who is trying to improve men are always robbed by this thing. People cannot stop choosing it. And it does nothing but destroy you every time. You lose 100% of the time, and ain't nothing perfect but the devil. I can't curse enough. I can't yell enough. I can't articulate enough. 99% of people that hear this will not get it. Only the elite. Only the best of the best. Comfort is always unbecoming. It is so specifically against anything God, anything divine, anything of respect. More than most obese people or unhealthy people are comfort eaters. More than most ratchet motherfuckers who fuck up shit are comfortable with it. That's what they used to, but they don't use anything. You get comfortable with misusing use. Cold, blunt force trauma. That's the only way to fight it. You don't do things because it's good. You do it because it beats it. It doesn't need to sleep. It doesn't need to shit. It doesn't need to eat. It don't get tired. It's not your fucking friend. It will kill you and your child. It will have you kill your child. That thing got people killing their children just to feel like. Reduce all your senses down to a synthetic experience of just one of them. I feel like. You feel kinda. Long story short, What goes on in the dark must come in the light. Who you are when nobody's looking is who you are. Mentor Mike. And you got to win that one-on-one fight with you. When purpose is not known, misuse is inevitable. So, also said we're going to cure it. It's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. Man is not the body or the soul. Man is the spirit. But like we've done within this one video, we got 11 more of these videos to come. Maybe not to this length, because this is the second hardest video to do, because it's the second hardest law, because it mirrors the highest law. But you need to understand what you are, why you are, where you are, right? You need to know the big things. Why you are, what you are, where you are. Again, man is not the body or the soul, man is the spirit. However, there is evidences with respects to each. See how there's 3 parts? Body, soul, spirit. When I went over the 3 9s and the 3 6s, it wasn't for no reason. Spiritually, your soul, your purpose is a 9 going in the other direction. It's its counterparty. When you look at your body, you're met with the very answers right there in front of your face. Where's the best place an opponent should hide? In the very last place you would ever look. The answer to fighting the law of diminishing intent, or being in accord with what we learned from it, it's the very face that you're using. The very face that you're using, when you look at it, you're met with organs. Skin, right? And that's the organ on the outside of you. Then you also have organs on the inside. And the crazy thing about the organs on the inside is that they're organized, aren't they? How easy would it be to fight diminishing intent with organization? How much common sense would it be if I fought procrastination with organization? If I spent more energy organizing like I am? If I spent more energy being successful like I am, being a successor? Just those 2 things right there. When you understand the original intent and your purpose for your body is to do what? To be organized. Cleanliness is godliness. For your soul is to what? Is to be a successor. I have to learn about myself. And I know my intention. My intention is in alignment, which is what? My spirit. The spirit is intention. The soul is purpose. The body is organized. It's that simple. Welcome to the world class. The rest of these laws are going to teach you how to utilize those things at a ridiculously high level. And it's been a pleasure. I appreciate it. I had to develop my editing skills with this video because it meant a lot to me. And most of y'all that's going to watch it is people that's been in my life for a while, people that care about me. So I wanted to take my time out to give this stuff up to you. Y'all know who y'all are. To new subscribers, to new viewers, I appreciate you. This is a service, you know, it's kind of, like I said, this was personal. Because these ideas that I'm sharing, identifying knowledge that is absent amongst our people and my people that know I love them, have been missing, I take it personal that in my mind every day that I'm letting go by, these things are eating them apart. And, it's one thing that can sit here for a while and you can listen to this over and over and over again. And, but again, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys taking your time out to listen to this. I hope you learned something. I hope you took some stuff. We just scratching the surface. The other laws are pretty fun. This was the dark one, so I'll get the hard stuff out of the way. I advise you to take that position. And a lot of people are more on the positive deal. But we gotta do the hard work first. Get the hard work out the way first. And then, like I said, this is the floor. We're gonna end this with prayer. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, you Allah, Amen. We give perfect praise to all divine prophets, perfect praise to all the honorables. Praise be unto the Most High, honors be unto whom it is due. For the record, on the record, all parties involved are protected by I, Noble Miguel Mario Tunica Bay, by my holy name, Javehi de la San Miguel, Mikhail ben Yusef. And as we say, it ain't but two classes on this planet, never been three. You either world class or you outclass. And the question is not which class do you want to live in. The question is, which class do the ones coming behind you deserve for you to die in? On your feet or on your knees. Respect the craft. Noble.
Boom, the world class.
We didn't do this because we like you. We did this because we are you.
The people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I?